Welcome to Damn Good Movie Memories with your host, Brian Davis. This podcast is the cure for your long commute and super boring workday.
It was a night like any other night. Then something happened.
You see that?
Something different.
It's no shooting star.
Why here? Why now? Why clowns? They've been knocking them dead all over the universe.
What are you gonna do? Knock my block off?
Soon they'll be doing it at a theater near you.
Killer clowns from outer space.
Pizza?
Maybe they're just cruising through the galaxy and stopped here for a bite to eat.
You don't need a police pal, you need a psychiatrist. They want to play games? They're messing with the wrong guy.
What are you in for?
Killer clowns from outer space. It's crazy.
Hey there, it's Brian Davis, and for this week's episode, we're going to cover the movie Killer Klowns from Outer Space from 1988. The studio was Trans World Entertainment. Now, this was mostly a straight-to-video company. The release date was May 27, 1988, and the running time was 86 minutes with a rating of PG-13. The budget was $1.8 million, and the box office? I have no clue, since if it was released to theaters, it was a very limited release. This movie was mostly found on cable or home video for most folks. Now, this was an era of film where movie fans could discover things outside of simply going to a movie theater. But before the 1980s, this was impossible prior to home video and the popularity of cable. Killer Klowns, if it was made in the 1950s, well, it would have been like a B-movie or shown during double features, but then would quickly be forgotten. But not so in the 1980s, where video store owners were so hungry for as much product as possible, they would have copies of an indie film like Killer Klowns from Outer Space, and customers would end up with something fun, like when their first choice was gone. Sure, I'm looking for Back to the Future, but if that's gone, okay, fine, Killer Klowns from Outer Space, let's have a fun 3-day weekend. Those were good times. Today, a film like Killer Klowns might find an audience from streaming or internet sites, but again, the film discovery charm of the 1980s is kind of lost today. All right, let's get into the making of the film. So, it was created by special effects artists, the Chiodo brothers, Stephen, Charles, and Edward. Stephen wrote and directed, while Charles co-wrote, and Edward co-produced. The idea sort of festered for years for the brothers. Sort of like, what is the scariest thing you can think of? Like driving down a dark road, and then you look to the side of you while driving, and you see a clown in a car next to you. So the original title was just going to be Killer Klowns, but it sounded too much like a slasher film. So they added outer space, and magically it became a sci-fi film. The brothers, as expected, were big fans of classic horror and sci-fi, and they would use inspiration from their favorite films like The Forbidden Planet, The Blob, definitely Invasion of the Body Snatchers when you see how the cotton candy goo works, the Ray Harryhausen films, and the campy films shown on the $1 Million Movie on television in New York where they grew up. The brothers have been doing special effects in films for most of the 1980s, with credits including Critters, RoboCop, and UHF. Killer Klowns would be their first feature film on their own. They would also create the puppets for Team America World Police, along with doing the stop animation for the movie Elf. They used their connections in the industry to help get their film, Killer Klowns, made. Now, personally, this film always stood out for me due to its filming location, which was in the San Francisco Bay Area near Santa Cruz. And if you remember, the film The Lost Boys was also filmed in Santa Cruz, but they called the town Santa Carla. All right, let's get into the film. So it opens with a great, cheesy 80s title track performed by the Dickies. The film begins at an amusement park, and we meet police officer Curtis Mooney, played by the great John Vernon, who is as cantankerous as ever, as are most of his characters. We also meet a very young Christopher Titus as a guy walking across the street with his groceries. We then go to the local makeout point where all the teenagers go to get some, and then an ice cream truck ruins the carnal fun.
Your next thing, which you're going to do, if you use our promo code AFTERMIDNIGHT, and that's 25%. Guys, we just want to thank Acting Energy for being the show.
I'm Chiodo, the ice cream clown with the bestest ice cream in town. We'll give you the stick, you give it a lick, and it'll tickle you all the way down. Ice cream, we brought our goodies here to you. A tasty treat for while you screw. Let's take a break. Cool off those hot lips with our tasty frozen fruity bars, icy wicies, fudgy wudgy bars, and everyone's favorite frozen delight, the Lick-a-Stick.
Get out of here, you morons! Hey, take your ice cream and get one!
Oh yeah?
Quiet down.
So you don't want any ice cream? Well, you're not getting any.
You were getting it before you showed up. Those guys, man, what the hell are they doing here? Great idea, Paul. Everybody loves ice cream.
What do you mean? It was your idea. Hey, why don't we just park here for a while?
Hey, what are you guys trying to pull here?
Oh, well, we thought we'd park here for a while.
You said we could have all the ice cream we wanted, but you didn't say anything about parking. What kind of girls do you think we are?
I told you they weren't that stupid.
We want you to take us home right now. Yeah.
Take it easy. Keep your shirt on.
Don't worry, we intend to.
Oh, this worked out just great.
Don't blame me. I didn't want to come here. Hey, why don't we try to drive it?
Oh, that's dumb.
Hey, wait a minute. What's playing?
Knuckleheads.
We then meet one of the couples at the makeout point. Mike, played by Grant Cramer, and Debbie, played by Suzanne Snyder. You'll remember her as Deb from Weird Science. She was the blonde. While looking at the stars, they see a comet fly over the sky. Debbie wants to see where the comet landed and convinces Mike to go find it. But of course, Mike would have rather stayed at the makeout point and kept going forward in the car. An old man named Farmer Gene Green, played by Royal Dano, also saw the comet. He and his dog, Pooh, find where the comet landed, and it's turned into a circus tent, much to his amazement.
Well, I don't know, Pooh. You know, there's something kind of peculiar around here. Where is everybody? You know, there ain't nobody around. Where's the dang ticket booth? How are we supposed to get in and see the show? Pooh? Pooh Bear? Where is that dog? Pooh? Something funny's happening around here. What in tarnation's going on here? Where's my dog? Where's my Pooh Bear? I'll tear this thing apart with my bare hands! This thing is wired!
And with that, Farmer Gene is shot by some ray gun by a giant creepy clown. Next, Mooney arrests a few underage drinkers, while his younger partner Dave, played by John Allen Nelson, is less uptight.
What's going on, Kurt?
Same old shit. I got him boozing it up in the park.
We were just walking through the park on the way to the dorm. We had a bottle of wine.
Yeah, it's a beautiful night. We were walking around. We didn't do nothing. You guys go to the college, right?
Yeah, right.
So why don't you just stay there and do your drinking on campus? Why do you have to come into town?
Well, I mean, we live in this town, too. I mean, we don't have to just stay on campus.
Yeah. And it's scum like you that are killing this town.
Kurt, come on, Kurt. Now, just take it easy. They're just
What's the
college
matter,
kids.
Dave? You got a thing for these little boys? Empty your pockets!
We just had a little wine. What's the problem?
You're the problem, you little shit!
Just lighten up, Mooney. Just lighten up.
Back off, Dave. Open container, public intoxication, littering, disturbing the peace, resisting arrest. These kids are history. Unless you want to rewrite the laws, Mr. Police Academy.
Oh, look, you got this problem with my training. I don't care. But when you bring someone into the station, I don't want to see you beating them up. Now, if you're gonna book them, do it according to procedure. Or I swear, Kurt, you and that badge of yours will be history.
I'll tell you what's gonna be history, Dave. These kids. Now get in there. Get in there!
Next, Mike and Debbie go out to the woods to try to find where the comet landed. They too find the same circus tent as Farmer Gene. They go inside the tent and they find a weird maze of colors.
This is bizarre. What kind of circus is this?
This is that new wave European Circus Fantastique. Hurry, step right up. See the Circus Bizarro. Come one, come all, step right up, little lady. Don't be shy, don't be stupid. Come see the incredible Miss 50-50, half man, half woman. The perfect double date. Oh yeah, that's where little ladies step right up here and see Gumbo, the toothless elephant. Or, right over here, we've got Belinda, the Billy McWonder. Watch her binge and purge before your very eyes.
Mike, keep it down. Somebody'll catch us.
God, this place great or what? God, it looks like it was decorated by Klowns R Us.
I don't know. So how much further you want to go?
Well, let's just go down here at the end of this hall. It's where those doors are. Come on. This is no fun house.
No circus either. What?
I can't believe it. What is it, a nuclear power plant?
No.
A missile silo?
No.
A military base?
The shooting star!
What are you talking about?
The shooting star we went to go look for. We are in it! What was that?
I don't know. But it's coming this way. Here, come on. Look at this place. Smells like candy. You know, I don't know what we saw out there before, but
This looks like a cotton candy factory to me. Yeah. This must be where they're hanging up to dry before they ship the stuff out.
No, it's not. I've never seen anything like this before. Have you?
No?
Well, that's because nobody has. I don't believe in UFOs. But if they do exist, then we're trapped in one right now.
I mean, will you just calm down? There's got to be a logical explanation for this.
This isn't what you think it is. Nobody stores cotton candy like this.
What are you talking about? Of course it is. God, look. Down this way. Are you okay?
I think so.
Come on.
Popcorn, why? Popcorn!
Because the clowns, that's why.
Get me out of here! Hurry! They're coming!
So Mike and Debbie run over a few clowns and speed away, and they're being shot at by guns filled with popcorn. The clowns can also turn balloon animals into moving animals of sorts, but inside the tent were giant bales of hanging cotton candy. Inside one of them was a body, Mike's buddy Joe. Also, just running over the clowns doesn't actually kill them. And again, those bales of cotton candy, definitely like the pod people in Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Mike and Debbie end up at the police station to report what happened, and all the while, large clowns walk the streets downtown. And nobody seems to think that's strange.
Dave! Oh my God, something horrible's happened. Somebody's been killed!
Wait a second, Debbie. What happened?
You gotta help us. We gotta do something. There are 2 people dead.
Who, Debbie? Who's dead?
Joe Lombardo, he's dead.
And some old man, too.
Wait a second, guys. Are you sure about this?
Yes, they were hanging there, wrapped up in these cotton candy things, these cocoons.
Cocoons.
Yes, cocoons.
You know, cocoons.
All right, everybody, calm down. Look, Debbie, come inside and explain this to me. I'd like to help you, but before I can, I've got to understand what's going on here myself.
Okay, well, why don't we just go to the drugstore? Good. Okay, and then we'll go on. Oh, look.
All right, sit down. Let's start from the beginning, all right?
Okay. Okay, we were up at the top of the world, and we saw this shooting star, and we decided to go look for it. But instead of finding the shooting star, we saw this circus tent. And that's when we went inside, and that is when we saw those people in those pink cotton candy cocoons. Dave, it was not a circus tent. It was something else.
What?
It was a spaceship, and there was these things, the killer clowns, and they shot popcorn at us. We barely got away.
Killer clowns from outer space. Holy shit.
Dave, we are telling you the truth. You've got to believe us.
Let me tell you something, honey. I was just over there. There's nothing going on.
Excuse me, please, but we're talking to Dave.
Yeah, just hold on a second, Mooney. They say some people are dead. Let's hear them out.
Right, Dave? Okay. Clowns, cotton candy, flying popcorn. Go ahead. Let it make fools out of the police department. I told you I was just over there. Who are you going to believe, me or this little tramp?
Now, come on, Mooney. I'm handling this, all right? All right, Debbie. Who's your friend?
Mike, we go to school together.
You two were up at top of the world together?
Yeah.
I know you, you little fart. You hang out with the Terenzi brothers. Clowns. I get it. Another one of their stupid stunts to sell ice cream from that goddamn truck those hoodlums run around in. Well, now I really believe this. Well, you better go now, Dave. Before the clowns take over, huh? And when you get back from saving the world, I want a full written report so I can give it to the chief when he gets back on Monday.
Look, everything happened just the way we said.
We are telling you the truth.
All right. You two come with me. Come on.
Hurry up, Dave. Don't let him get away. Go ahead, Dave. Make a dummy out of yourself. But you're not gonna make a dummy out of me.
You, in the back.
In the meantime, the clowns end up killing a passerby in the park after putting on a puppet show, and they turned him into cotton candy like the others. And then the clowns destroy a local drugstore. They spray any canned item they can find, sort of like shaving cream. The clowns also kill people by going door to door delivering pizza and candy. And we also discover that Dave was Debbie's ex-boyfriend, which isn't awkward at all for Mike, right? So Dave drops Debbie off at her house and tells her to stay inside. Mike then tells Dave to where the circus tent was, but it's no longer in the woods. So Dave arrests Mike for supposedly lying and filing a false report. Next, the clowns decide to take on a biker gang.
Hey, Eddie, that a new bike you got?
What's happening, Mike?
Big bad JoJo coming into town.
Watch this, baby.
Is that bike too big for you?
Hey, Cloudy! Mean bike you got there. Yeah. Can I take a ride, pal?
What? Oh, come on. I can't take a ride.
Can I beep the horn? Oh, thank you!
Should have let the man ride his bike.
I'm sorry. I seem to have broken your bike. Where'd it go? What are you gonna do? Knock my block off?
Yes, the clown literally knocked the guy's head off. The clowns aren't picky about their kills, as one even tries to lure a little girl out of a burger joint to hit her over the head with a large mallet. But of course, the girl's pulled back inside before she can leave the burger joint. With Mike handcuffed in the backseat of the patrol car, Dave pulls over at the makeout point to find a number of cars covered in cotton candy goo and lots of dead bodies. So, it looks like Mike wasn't lying after all.
What are you doing, man? You're not gonna hit me, are you?
Look, just turn around, pal, all right?
Look, I'm sorry about Debbie, man. I didn't know she was...
Just drop it, Mike. Check this out.
That's the stuff. That's the stuff that I was telling you about that was all wrapped around Joe Lombardo. Where'd you get that?
Over in that Jeep over there.
That's McReed's Jeep.
Who's McReed?
Bob McReed? He was up here tonight with me and Debbie. Those are his glasses. They got him. He's dead.
Crescent Cove Police Station, Mooney speaking. Wait a minute. Calm down, I can't understand you. What? Oh, clowns, huh? And now they're at your front door, huh? Wait a minute, who is this? Stupid kids and the pranks. Rich little bastards. And shoot them all. Daddy sends them to fancy schools so the police department can babysit the little pricks. Police station, Mooney speaking. Yeah.
Oh, Kurt? I think I have a bit of a problem here.
Just a minute. It's not you too, Mr. Myers. Police station, Mooney here. What? Oh, they took your wife away in a balloon? Well, you don't need a police pal, you need a psychiatrist. Mr. Myers? Did the Terenzi brothers have the whole town in on this? What the hell with them all? They want to play games? They're messing with the wrong guy.
John Vernon. Even in cheesy movies, he's always terrific as a bad guy. The Klowns then make one guy drive off the road, and the car ends up in a fiery wreck. This car wreck scene was actually supposed to be the opening of the film originally. Next, one of the Klowns does a giant shadow puppet show for a bunch of people at a bus stop. The shadow then turns into a dinosaur, and then eats all the people. Mike and Dave try to kill the clown, but he gets away. So Dave calls into Mooney, but that goes about as well as expected.
He's gone. He went straight up.
I've seen enough. 1 Baker 5. Kurt, do you read me, over?
1 Baker 5, this is Mooney speaking. I was a little worried about you. I thought the big bad clown's got a hold of you. Over.
Mooney, I want you to listen to me and don't say anything. I want you to call the state police and get help. There are clowns and they are killing people, over.
Okay, let me get this straight. You say there are clowns and you've seen him. Okay, Dave, that's it. Screw you and your college flunkies. I've had enough of this from you and from everyone else. I know what you guys are trying to do. Break me down, drive me out of the force. Well, it's going to take a hell of a lot more than a lame prank like this to get Curtis Mooney to throw in his badge, so fuck you. Over.
Oh, Mooney, this is an emergency! Mooney! You cut me off. That son of a bitch cut me off! I gotta get back to the station. I don't know what I'm gonna say, but I gotta get through to the state police.
Oh, get the truck! About the girl! Forget about the girls, they eat too much. They didn't eat ice cream! So what? The truck's getting away!
Hey, those aren't killer clowns. Those are the Terenzi brothers.
Terenzi brothers?
Get back to the station, radio for help. I'm gonna catch up with my friends, how to warn people.
All right. Tell everyone to stay indoors and don't do anything stupid.
You too.
You idiot! Don't yell at me. You were driving. Oh, what? Can't you just do one thing right for once? This whole ice cream thing was your idea.
My idea? You're the one who said we get girls this way.
No, I didn't. You did.
You did.
Hey, Rich, Paul!
Oh, man. Am I glad to see you guys?
It's Frank, how you doing? You want some ice cream?
No, man, listen. Something horrible's happened. I need your help.
Well, what are you talking about? What's wrong?
There's no time to explain. There's clowns going around killing people.
Huh?
Look, tonight, Debbie and I were up on the top of the world, and we followed the spaceship, and there was these clowns, and they was carrying these cotton candy cocoons, and they were shooting these popcorn guns, and there's a circus tent spaceship, right? But it's not there anymore, but we were there. We saw the whole thing.
And they say we're crazy. So?
Oh, come on, you guys. I'm not fooling around.
Well, Mike, what do you want us to do? We have ice cream to sell tonight.
Paul, this is more important than selling ice cream. There's clowns going around killing people. We're all in danger.
Well, we haven't sold that much ice cream tonight.
We haven't sold any.
Come on, guys. Will you help me? Look, at least take me over to Debbie's house, okay? I think she's in danger.
Does she have any roommates?
Yes, she's got two. She's got two beautiful roommates with big boobs.
Do they like ice cream?
They love it.
What are we waiting for?
Come on! Guys, you good? Get that away.
Frig yous all. You ain't gonna get the best of me. I made it through Korea. I can make it through this bullshit. Whoop the goddamn to do. What do we have here? Well, son, I think you made a big mistake. You're in Mooney's territory now. For me? Shoot you right now, you red-nosed freak. So you want to play games, eh? Turn around. All right. I'm supposed to read you your rights. But you're in Mooney's jail. And you ain't got no rights. All right, Buster. Get out of there.
Mooney tries to handcuff the clown, but his hands snap off. Because, they're clowns. So Mooney locks up the clown. But the clown ends up killing Mooney with little effort by choking him out. Dave arrives back at the station, and he finds the two teenagers dead in the cotton candy web in the jail. While Mooney is now being treated like a ventriloquist dummy by the clown. Dave tries shooting the clown, but that does nothing, until he shoots him directly in the nose, which is like a bullseye, and then makes the clown disintegrate, like a carnival game. Alright, there's about 30 minutes left, and now you know the secret code about how to potentially kill the clowns. But will it be enough to prevent all these clowns from taking over the town and likely the entire planet? Well, you're just going to have to watch the rest of the film to find out. Plus, the ending is pretty funny. Look, this film is meant to be campy at the highest level, and the acting is purposely terrible, but the effects and the makeup are actually very good, and it's an amusing flick to check out. Plus, I'll take campy special effects over sterile CGI any day, frankly. If you're a fan of 80s or schlocky horror films, you should enjoy this film. And even if you're a fan of the campy sci-fi films from the 50s and 60s, I think you'll enjoy this as well. All right, some fun facts. So Soupy Sales was originally considered for the part of the security guard killed by the clown's acidic pies, as he was known for receiving pies to the face on his children's television show, Lunch with Soupy Sales. But the studio turned down the idea, as they refused to allocate funds to pay for Sales' plane ticket to the set. He also felt that the audience simply wouldn't know who Soupy Sales was. The Chiodo brothers have long wanted to do sequels for the original film, and while there's always interest from smaller production companies, nothing has come to fruition. Now, the main idea for a sequel involves having the main character of Mike return, along with Grant Cramer. One of the plot points has Mike now being a town drunk, who knows that the clowns have returned, but of course nobody believes him. But the younger kids who've seen the clowns do believe him. Mike and the kids end up doing battle against the clowns to save the town. Sounds interesting. One person that found this movie interesting, and of course had seen it before because he's just that type of weirdo and I love it, is Samuel Wetz, who joins me to talk about Killer Klowns from Outer Space. How does he like it? I think you know, but let's hear his take on it now, and I'll be back next week to talk about yet another random movie from my DVD collection.
Okay, we're back, and we have Samuel Wetz as our guest, because I thought he'd be the perfect person for this movie. Welcome back, Samuel.
Hello, Brian. Thanks for having me here today.
Okay, so you're an old soul. I mentioned this back when I had you on for Take Me Home Tonight. And when it comes to media, whether it be your musical tastes or pop culture, you're definitely an old soul. How did Killer Klowns from Outer Space come onto your radar, and what really interested you about it?
I think the first time I ever heard about it or was aware of the movie was I knew the Dickie song that they did, the theme song they did for it, which I love. Absolutely love that theme song, and which you hear it at the beginning and at the end of the movie. And I did hear about the movie, after that, because I've heard they mentioned underrated horror movies of the 80s or cult classics, all the typical things you're probably going to find a movie like that under. But I didn't watch it until probably around when I was in my teens, because that's usually when I think I mentioned this on the Take Me Home Tonight episode I did, that in my teens I got really into movies, really just went full steam ahead into movies, and I was definitely checking out a lot of horror movies of the 80s, like your Evil Dead, your Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Child's Play, so on and so forth. And when I first watched this movie, I dug it. I really did dug it because it reminds me of Evil Dead, of course, a little bit, and a little bit of Dead Alive, mainly horror comedy or comedy horror, depending on how you see it, type of films. And I really dug that. But I didn't really go back to it that much. It was one of those things that I liked it, but then go back to. But over time, as I got older, I actually grew to appreciate this again. And when you asked me to, you want to do this? I was like, sure. I haven't seen that movie in probably a good couple years or so. Sure. So rewatching it again, I was like, I forgot how fun this movie was. And how bad the acting was, too. Good God. It's not terrible, but goddamn, it's woo! It's rough.
It's very much like an independent film, and what's interesting, we'll get into some of the cast a little bit later, but just based on your recent viewing, you kind of mentioned it was a couple years ago. Was there anything new you picked up from the most recent watch?
The thing I don't think I appreciated enough of was the special effects of the clowns and how they moved and how the mouths were. And everything, and the little things that you don't really pay attention to at first, like the clowns talk. You hear dialogue from the clowns too, like a scene in particular that I sent you in a text of the bikers when the little clown, I think his name is, I think they call him Shorty or something, or yeah, he's over there, and the biker's about to fight him. He's like, "Put up your dukes, put up your dukes." You hear that, but it's in this very distorted, clown voice.
Yeah,
and and he's just like, what are you going to do? Knock my block off? And he just knocks his head off.
Yeah.
Which is the only scene in the movie that has any type of gore, really.
Yeah.
Because the movie's a PG-13. Well, we were PG-13 at the time because I was thinking, was it PG rating or was it PG-13 by then? I think it was PG-13, and you can kind of tell the movie was kind of wanted to be rated R at times, but and maybe in some way it could have been, but at the same time, I think it still works nonetheless, whether if it's a PG-13 or R rated, but you can definitely tell it is a hard PG-13, with some of the depths in the film. But I think that's the thing I appreciate that as well.
Exactly.
I really appreciate is the special effects of it, because I think that's what really stood out the most is the set designs of the UFO circus and the whole areas and the rooms and all that. And I even love the little shot. It's only there for like a second. The matte painting shot when they first entered the UFO and you see this little lightning bolt and they're like a little ball that has shooting lightning. It's like, oh, what kind of circus is this?
That's why, and I was going to bring this up too. I mean, it's a low budget film, but the special effects are actually very good considering how low budget is. It kind of reminded me of those campy like 50s sci-fi movies. So that's what I thought of too.
Oh yeah, and I was like curious what the budget of this film was, and I think it was like maybe $1.5 million,
which is nothing back then.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's just nothing back then, and. Oh, I'm pretty sure. I would think you're going to mention this in your episode, but when I saw the box office for this, I was like, you got that guy. That's got to be a joke. That can't be real.
Yeah. Yeah, no way. Because I don't know anyone that saw this in the theater. There's probably a few, but this was straight up.
I'm sure there has been a few. I'm sure there's a few people who've seen it.
But it was
either that or you saw it on maybe like HBO or home video 100%. At this time.
Exactly. So you had to see it on cable, or it was a VHS rental, because that's how a lot of people discovered films. That's how this kind of became kind of a cult classic. Now, I mentioned you're a huge music fan, and so you had mentioned the title track by the Dickies, and you do enjoy that. But did you like the kind of the heavy synth kind of instrumental score throughout?
Oh
the film?
yeah. That's another thing I appreciated about this as well that I didn't really notice is like the kind of the heavy. Almost not John Carpenter-esque, but like very 80s.
Yeah.
Kind of. I guess this would be a weird comparison, but almost like kind of like the 80s Rush stuff, like the 80s albums from Rush, kind of had like that 80s kind of synth thing going on. That's what I mean. That's probably not the best comparison, but it had. I love that 80s synth score, especially at times too, where it kind of almost has like a circusy little nuance to it as well. You notice it really when the old guy, who I absolutely love that guy. Pooh Bear, what the hell am I doing here? Oh my god, yeah. Wait, the whole music up to that point, you just hear like this weird circusy, kind of dark, eerie synth music, but circusy. I love that. And as the clown shows up and gets the dog. Oh my god, I love that. I love that scene so much. But the music overall, I think it's just really, really solid. And it almost makes you wonder, if there's a soundtrack available somewhere. I'm pretty sure there is. I would think by this point now.
Probably online. Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
definitely. Yeah. But no, that Carpenter, that's a good call. That's definitely a good call. You kind of mentioned you went through a horror movie phase. What are some of your favorites in general?
Oh, well, I mean, we'll be here for an hour about that, but I guess
top five.
The top five easily. John Carpenter's The Thing. That's my favorite horror movie of all time. I watch it every year, Halloween. Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn. The original Halloween is fantastic. Jesus, man. A cool little shout out is an underrated film called Dead Alive or Brain Dead from Peter Jackson, which is very Evil Dead influence. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie or heard about it.
Years ago.
Yep. Oh, it is really good. It's crazy. The special, I think that's another film that's like super low budget, but you wouldn't even tell because the effects are like stellar. And if you love Evil Dead, definitely check that out. And another film I love, it's kind of horror, but also kind of more social commentary would be like Videodrome, which was directed by David Cronenberg.
Yeah.
And starring James Woods and Debbie Harry. That film was fantastic, but oh my god, the 80s had like a lot of fantastic horror movies. Oh, the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre is amazing.
In the 70s? Yep.
Oh yeah, 73, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
really ahead of its time. Okay, going back to the movie, who was your favorite clown?
Sir. Oh, it has to be the. I wish I had wrote down the names, but the one I love is the one who had like kind of this punk rock kind of hair, green. I'm forgetting his name, but you see him and he just looks so cool out of everybody. But then there's the one that enters the police station and everything, and the guy who's like, "Oh, the whole town's turning on me and everything," and they're thinking, "Oh, they're making me to be out some kind of joke with the killer clown stuff." And the clown clocks in, and he's like, "Daddy." He's just got this little baby walks as he enters the station and enters the cell. That one I love too. But all of them, I think all the clowns are fantastic, and there's like plenty of them. There's like probably a good several of them too. Even there's 2 female clowns you see.
That's true.
For like a minute with the 2 brothers and everything.
Yep.
When they,
well, I think that was the smart part where they didn't make them all look the same. They all were kind of unique in their own way.
Oh yeah, too, and I hate to go back to this, but I just love the designs, especially when they zoom in on the face. You get close up of the clown faces, and you see them express and everything and all that. Yeah, I love that stuff. I'm a sucker for like those practical kind of puppetry, animatronic kind of stuff in horror movies, especially when it gets like up close like that, like in Gremlins. There's a lot of shots like that in the first Gremlins movie.
Yep, good call. So you also mentioned it. This is mostly a cast of unknowns. I would say the exception would be John Vernon, who played the sheriff. Of course, you remember him as in Animal House, and then Suzanne Snyder, she's the blonde in Weird Science. She's in it. So this definitely is not a film of stars, which it's the indie charm of it. So does the bad acting bother you at all, or is it kind of it has to be there because of its indie cred?
I would say, I guess it depends who you ask to. To me, it has a charm to it. It has a charm, but there is some acting choices I will say though I kind of question, like I'm forgetting the actor's name, the main guy who plays Mike, when they first enter the UFO, and Suzanne Snyder's like, what kind of circus is this? I forget the exact line exactly. Like, you see anything like this before? And he just goes, I don't know. And he has this real sinister smile, like he's like in on it or something, like he's secretly a clown. Like he even talks like real, like, yeah, man, all this stuff. And even though I say the acting was rough, it has its charm. I think John Vernon is probably the best actor out of the whole cast. By far. And what a voice that guy has, too. That guy just had a hell of a voice. As soon as I heard that talk, I was like, oh, I know that voice. I know this guy.
Yep. 0.0. Yeah. Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life. But the other one is actually he's got a very small role, and you'll miss him, is Christopher Titus. He has kind of a small role as one of the I think he's Bob McReed or something like that, but he's in it in the beginning, so that's pretty funny. So, all right, final thoughts, and how often would you return to this film in the future?
I would mind to return to this. Actually, I wouldn't mind returning to this movie again sometime in the fall. To me, it's a fun movie, short movie too. That's the thing that I appreciated about this and several other movies in the 80s too, like the first Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness and several other horror movies. The length is short. It just goes by quick, and it's not really a scary movie per se. I mean, I can see someone being freaked out, but of course it's clowns, but it's a fun movie. It's fun for what it is. It's not. Don't expect it being perfection. You could tell there's no budget on this. Well, micro budget, borderline trauma acting.
Yeah, good call.
But it's a fun movie, and I love it. And hey, what is it, like only like 35, 36 years has been, since it came out. People still talk about it, even to a point now where I'm forgetting the names of the directors and the writers. The brothers, there's like 3 brothers involved, I think.
Yep.
They keep going back and forth, like possibly doing a sequel or a reboot, the Chiodo brothers. They keep talking about possibly doing another film, like either a reboot or a sequel. I mean, right now, this is just for people my age. There's even a video game of Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Yeah, Yeah. That came out earlier this year. So this shows that the legacy of such a IP or name recognition like Killer Clowns from Outer Space still resonates and cross over their stuff. And I'm sure people are now getting turned on to the movie from the game. You know, which you see that in like so many things too. I mean, I knew somebody who got into Friday the 13th because they did a video game. Well, they did 2 video games. There was the one in the 80s, and there was one that came out, I think, probably about less than 5 years ago. Or something.
There you go. That's kind of the new breed. But I'll leave you on this. Did clowns bother you as a kid?
That's a good question. I mean, probably when I was little kid. Probably when I was like maybe 9, 8 years old. But now it doesn't bother me. You know, I remember I used to be terrified of Pennywise. Like Tim Curry's Pennywise from It. Yep. Yeah, that was definitely something else. But now it doesn't bother me, you know. I never had like that. I mean, I knew people who were terrified because I had one friend of mine who's like, if I see a goddamn clown, I swear to God.
It is funny how, like, you know, in the 50s, you had Bozo the Clown and everything. Like, it seemed like this friendly, like, kind of kids thing. It really evolved, I think, once the 80s came around, and obviously John Wayne Gacy. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hell, there's even a whole that community. I forget what they're called. But every time there's a horror movie or something that involves, like, a scary clown or killer clown, they always are like the ones protesting the movie.
Yeah.
I forget what they're called, but you see them. You hear about them, like these clowns protesting. Like, I think there was even one for like the new It movies. They came out like several years ago. They were like protesting, like, it's just putting us out of work and all that. I'm like, hey, it's whatever. it's whatever, man. It's a movie.
Go be a mall.
I know.
Go be a mall Santa. Don't be a clown. So
yeah. Oh, don't get the Santa started on Silent Night. Don't bring that up.
Well, Samuel, thank you as always. Thank you for rechecking this out, and I know you're going to be back on real soon.
Hell yeah, sir.
If you enjoy this podcast and are an iTunes user, please do the show a favor and head on over to the official iTunes page for Damn Good Movie Memories. Be sure to leave a rating and a review. This will allow the show to appear higher in the algorithm and spread the joy of this podcast to the masses. If you are not an iTunes user, you can still listen and subscribe on Podbean at damngoodmoviememories.podbean.com. Be sure to like us on Facebook under our Damn Good Movie Memories page. You can also listen to a limited number of episodes on YouTube. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and be sure to tune in next week for an all-new episode of Damn Good Movie Memories.